Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. We have an update from an interview that Gabby did with Extra TV during the Men Tell All episode of her Bachelorette season regarding Nate. Now, as we know, Nate is a contestant who Reality Steve reported the story where he was essentially two-timing different women, one of which was on and off with him for a year and a half, didn't know he had a child. Most people think that it was a pretty slimy move, but redeemable. That's the camp I stand in, is that, hey, you know, you learn a lot about yourself, maybe getting over a bad divorce, and you don't always operate with the way that looks out for others. Collateral damage, as we talk about here. It exists in your 20s, folks, and 30s and 40s and 50s. We try our best with the information we have, and sometimes that can hurt others when we don't think how others might feel. It's called empathy. We'll talk all about it. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. I'm going live on Patreon right after this. So if you're watching this, I'm live on Patreon, patreon.com/Dave Neal. If you like behind the scenes content, yesterday we had 2 hours of behind the scenes gossip. I'll be honest, I deleted yesterday's video. So but today there'll be more to talk about. Live Q&As, ask me anything. I share about my finances on the channel, how much the channel makes, all of that. If you guys want to know that, if you're nosy, spend the $5, join us. It's a monthly membership. All right, let's get into it. So here's what Gabby had to say. Very quick clip of this interview here that she did right after her taping of Men Tell All. This timeline would have been 2 weeks ago when the information about Nate's exes came out. It doesn't mean Gabby knows everything that was alleged, but here's her response.
There was a lot of controversy surrounding Nate, and I think some of that was addressed tonight.
But probably not addressed in a real way.
And have that conversation with him.
Yeah, I hope he knows that I'll always have his back 100%. He was nothing but good to me, you know, when we met, and he really did. He was a role model for a lot of the guys and stood up for me and stood up for what he believed in. So I have a hard time knowing that person, thinking anything else about him, no matter what comes out online.
All right. Well, and again, you know, these sort of platitudes, very much like she's still on, you know, under employment with the show. So she's sticking to a script right here. One thing that was interesting, let's watch this one more time with the audio off and just check out her body language. There was a moment where she looked away, and I wasn't sure if she was looking at a producer to make sure she was answering this right. As you know, they have public relations people that check them out. So let's just watch her eyes again.
Model for a lot of the guys and stood up for me and stood up for what he believed in. So I have a hard time.
Right there. So, you know me, barrel scraping Dave, just always trying to find content where there isn't any.
Barrel scraping
That's
Dave.
what we do, folks. So I Googled, and by the way, you can body language experts. I'm not saying it's quack. It's not as quack as chiropractors are. Speaking of quack, but, you know, I think it's been debunked in a lot of ways. But here they say, body language of looking to the left. Q, looking to the left. That's kind of what Gabby did, but I think she was looking at somebody, not just randomly putting her eyes there. In one sentence, looking to the left signals that a person who's right-handed is accessing the creative side of their brain. Is Gabby right-handed? This is a cue that is used by reading in on other people. Simply watch how eyes move while another person is thinking in order to assess which sorts of memories are being accessed. Okay, a verbal translation. I'm looking to the left to access the creative side of my brain so I can construct a lie or create a story. I'm doing so either visually, auditorily, kinesthetically, or with feelings. A variant, the opposite, will be the case for left-handed people. All right, so if Gabby's left-handed, this is moot, but I think she's right-handed, right? By the way, did you know that the majority of presidents are left-handed? Very strange. Anyway, meaning or motivation. Looking left and up as you look at person is a nonverbal cue that signifies that a visual thought is being created rather than remembered. This can be an indication that lying is taking place. However, in some contexts, this can indicate creative storytelling, as both areas of the brain function in this instance. All right, anyway. Oh, here we go. Looking left level. So she didn't look, excuse me. She didn't look up when she looked left. If you look right here, she looked level, right? So let's see what level has to say. Looking to the left level indicates that a sound is being constructed rather than remembered. Looking down and left indicates the access of kinesthetics or feelings. Okay, what does that mean? I've got no idea, but you can't take those 2 minutes back. So that's where we're at with what she had to say. And Nate is posting a few cryptic things about her as well. We have to assume she's either over Nate or with somebody else right now if the relationship ends in an engagement. And here's what Nate has to say. He posted a quote, very Claire Crowley-esque of him. Throw away the idea that having a connection with someone is enough. Even if you two click, you cannot build with someone who is not ready to do their part. If they show signs of being emotionally unprepared and lack self-awareness, then harmony and authentic interactions will be scarce. Now, he didn't post this. He shared it, so maybe it means nothing. But maybe you play the X-Files music and you make a whole hullabaloo out of nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, Nate accuses Gabby of not being emotionally prepared. Now, we'll have to see. Give him the benefit of the doubt here. He did share some things.
Sister.
Oh, hold on. Oh, my gosh.
Fuck.
Jeez, what is that noise? Did you hear that in the background? I think something just started playing.
Is that my butt?
It's still going. I don't know what that is. Oh, I'm going to have to find that out. Something's playing in the background of my... Oh, it's gone now. Weird. Anyway, we're shooting it live, folks. Oh, there it goes again. All right, so anyway, here's my stories from yesterday. I had 2 stand-up comedy shows. You can check out my Instagram right there. There's the first one, good set, and here's the second one. I had a fun time. If you want to listen to this, I'm going to post it on the Patreon. Just ask me for it, and I'll give it to you on the Patreon. It was a 16 minutes, pretty dirty set, R-rated, so if you don't like R-rated, then don't stick around. Okay, so anyway, let's go. All right, by the way, I'm going to share with you one more piece of Nate content, but in the meantime, quick mid-roll here. This was sent to us yesterday from one of our teachers. When over 40 complete strangers contribute to a teacher's Amazon wish list, you start to believe in humanity again. From the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for helping restore humanity to our teachers who can then transfer that positive energy to their students. This is a very good thing for our community and for people that are being affected by your generosity. So thank you guys so much. Yesterday's teacher, or a few days ago, their teacher posted this every single day for the next couple weeks. I'm closing off. Don't submit any more teachers. We have too many teachers. Submissions are dead. Save them for next semester. But we are helping teachers out. And then today's teacher is Miss Phillips, a second year, first grade teacher, and purchases will help out her classroom. Of course, they're underfunded. So this is just a way we can help out our community. So thank you guys in advance so much for that. All right, here's what Nate had to say about thinking about Gabby still. He posts here on his TikTok, friends, why are you still thinking about her? And here's his response. Some nondescript music. And then, you know, how emo is TikTok, by the way. And then he posts what looks to be a golden egg. Let's go backwards. It looks to be a golden egg in around non-golden eggs. Am I missing the metaphor here? What's going on with that? So she's one of a kind, maybe? And then she's a yellow balloon in a black and white photo. I mean, pretty vague. He says her. That's what she is. And then she's a pawn star. What is it? What, a rook? What is that? A queen? She's a queen surrounded by plebeians? I don't really know. Well, someone help me out. I'm not good with chess. I don't know. But I wanted to get that off my chest. The comments are pretty funny. Oh, this makes me sad. I love you guys together. She would have been a great mom, but I understand where she's coming from. And then Aaron says, not everyone ignoring the elephant in the room. And everyone's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. When she sent you home, I instantly knew she would regret it going down the line. We don't know that. First episode that ever made me cry, said Lindsay. So it feels like people that know Nate's story don't have too much compassion for him, and those that don't are like, hey, man, let him live his life. They had a good connection. And they did have a good connection. But, you know, the good connection doesn't always last. And to answer Gabby, she's like, I'll always have his back. He was good to me. You know, that's I'm not going to say problematic, but just because someone's good to you doesn't mean they shouldn't and can't address their shortcomings. I think the mental lull is not going. I think they're going to address Nate's, and we'll find this out in a couple of weeks. I think they're going to address Nate's situation very vaguely, but what I think it really needs is just a 20 or 30 minute conversation where Nate gets to answer for all of the sort of accusations that come with pretty damning evidence. And in that case, I think it'd be easier for him to burn off this oil slick that exists on top of his body of water here. Do you guys know what I mean? Just address it. Get it out of the way. If Nate's going to be their next Bachelor, the storyline's going to keep being talked about until we get to hear his side, which, by the way, my best PR crisis management advice would be own up to it. Own up to how hurt you are. Hurt people hurt people. That's what it comes down to. Offer an apology to the ladies that feel like they were two-timed by you. And and admit that you could have done things a lot better and been more open and honest and not rob people of their time, in regardless of if they're a party girl or whatever the hell the terms that his friends are using. Let me know what you guys think. We're going to have a lot of content coming your way. So much to talk about. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals. I have a headlining stand-up show next Saturday, September 3rd in Hollywood, California. So get ready for that. I'll be selling the tickets starting later today. Patreon.com/Dave Neal for behind-the-scenes content. And a link in the pinned comments down below if you want to donate to our featured teacher of the day. All right, bye guys.